A North Carolina woman in a coma gives birth while fighting COVID.
And one couple has a close call with a black bear.
Robeson County gets extra ambulance crews from FEMA to deal with increased costs.
And the Lumberton Airport gets a $5 million grant for runway improvements. I'm Mahala Trace.
And I'm Jayla Coley. Those stories and more coming up on Carolina News Today.
$5 million in grant money from the state will enable improvements at Lumberton Regional Airport. The North Carolina Department of Transportation is funding repairs and expansion of the parallel taxiway for runway 23. The airport serves cargo, leisure, business, and military flights. Airport manager Gary Lewis says bringing the taxiway and turnaround up to higher FAA standards is important to the local economy.
The airport is an economic hub for Robeson County and for Lumberton. And so the first visit that folks see when they come into Lumberton is they see the airport. So when they're landing on a taxi or on a runway and then taxiing onto a taxiway that's not in good repair, that's not a good vision for Lumberton. With the money that we're getting from the grant, that allows it to be more aesthetic, better, and operational. It's going to be better, and also bring in new business for Lumberton and Robeson County. The location for Lumberton is strategically located between Florida and the Northeast U.S. So this makes a good off point for travelers and for business coming into Lumberton and Robeson County.
Management will accept construction bids through November, and they expect to start construction in March. Lewis says the state provides 90% of the funding, so the mayor, city council, and county commission stepped in to support the grant application.
Without the support that they've given us for the local matching funds, we would not have been able to get the funds or the grant from the state. It had to have the 10% match. And so we certainly want to thank them for their support, because without their support, we would not have been able to be eligible for the grant.
Robeson County has received 3 ambulances and temporary personnel to go with them to deal with the increased costs during the COVID-19 pandemic. FEMA has provided 25 ambulance crews overall to the state of North Carolina since September 27th. The EMTs were provided with personal protective equipment and communications gear in each of the 9 counties they were served. They'll remain assigned to these counties for 10 days, and then their presence will be reevaluated.
A first-time mother in North Carolina has not seen her newborn baby because she is a COVID-19 patient in a medically induced coma. Her family says that as she battles the virus, they won't give up hope.
That was the last text that I got from her, was that she couldn't breathe.
Tarisha Leach says that text came from her sister Vicki Goodson on September 3rd. Almost a month later, she's in a medically induced coma, fighting COVID double pneumonia after giving birth while on a ventilator.
The baby is a miracle baby.
Yep.
A miracle baby. She's beautiful.
A miracle in more ways than one. Vicki had been told she couldn't have children. Now, at 40, she was expecting her first baby. But just a month before she was due, she came down with COVID. Vicki, a CMS cafeteria manager at Starmount Elementary School, posted on September 7th asking for people to pray for her and her unborn baby as she was admitted to the hospital. That was her last update.
She's right now fighting for her life.
Doctors delivered baby Rain Monet on September 11th during an emergency C-section while Vicki was unconscious.
There are beautiful gifts that can come in the middle of chaos and turmoil or whatever, and we really consider her that beautiful gift.
Thankfully, the baby did not have COVID. Baby Rain Monet spent 2 weeks in the NICU and is now being cared for by relatives at home while her mother continues to fight.
The baby deserves her mom. She would be. She would be perfect mom.
We aren't showing you photos of the baby's face because her mother hasn't even seen her daughter's face yet.
Even innocent unborn children are being affected by someone who does not want to wear a mask or someone who doesn't want to get a vaccine.
While Vicki remains on a ventilator, unaware that her daughter has been born, a village is rallying around the family.
Because Pampers cost money.
Vicky's brother-in-law gathered his collection of Monet artwork to help pay for the mounting bills. He spent 20 years collecting more than 40 pieces.
It kind of gives me a sense of calmness.
On Monday, he'll be selling his pride and joy at a pop-up gallery for the family he loves more.
I'll be more than willing to give it up to help her out.
Vicky's family says she'd been extremely cautious throughout the pandemic and especially while pregnant. She was working at the elementary school but was waiting to get vaccinated until she gave birth. Her family hopes Vicky's story will encourage other expecting mothers to get vaccinated now.
For a lot of women that are pregnant, they should definitely get vaccinated.
Wish we knew this 2 months ago.
Definitely get vaccinated.
You know what I mean?
It's the safest thing right now. Protect them and the baby.
Now they're just praying for the day when Vicky will be able to hold her baby girl.
She's going to come home. I have faith.
Governor Roy Cooper has announced that the state is offering a $5,000 reward for information leading to the arrest and conviction of persons responsible for the disappearance of a Bladen County man. 35-year-old Brandon Carl Wayne McDonald was reported missing in March by his father. His Ford F-150 was wrecked and abandoned in Fayetteville. McDonald's cell phone showed his last known location was near Laurinburg. Anyone with information about the case should contact the State Bureau of Investigation at 919-662-4500.
A couple in North Carolina is recovering after being attacked by a black bear. The National Park Service says they were having a picnic on the Blue Ridge Parkway near Asheville Wednesday when their unleashed dog spotted a black bear and started barking and running toward it. Park officials say the bear then attacked the couple and they were able to escape and drive themselves to the hospital. They were treated for their injuries and then released. All trails in the area have been closed because of the aggressive nature of the attack. Picnicking has also been banned. Officials are trying to capture the bear, which will be euthanized.
The North Carolina Department of Public Safety has announced a name change to 5 prison facilities. The change comes after an extensive review of their negative historical representations. The Morrison Correctional Institution in Richmond County is one of them. It's named for former Governor Cameron Morrison, who led a violent white supremacy group known as the Red Shirts after the Civil War. The prison located in Hoffman will now be known as the Richmond Correctional Institution.
On campus, UNCP and the local community got together on Thursday in bringing back the pre-COVID tradition known as Pembroke Day. It's a chance to connect and showcase some of what the town has to offer and vice versa.
Pembroke Day is a really special event we have annually where we bring our town and our campus and the community together in one place on UNC Pembroke's campus. And this is to really showcase the best of what our community has to offer, to introduce our students to various organizations and businesses and opportunities to get involved across campus. We have a lot of volunteer opportunities and nonprofits that come out for Pembroke Day. We have a lot of our local businesses that support and really come out. You can buy handcrafted goods. You can get all of the things that you need to get exposed to on campus. And we just love bringing our campus and our community residents together at UNC Pembroke to really showcase the best of what we collectively can offer.
It's a nice way to meet new people. It's a whole lot of people out here. It's a whole lot of things to do.
But most importantly, I love about Pembroke Day, I just love how the community just comes together and we're here to bond over this experience, especially through this pandemic. Things have been hard, but connecting each other, and this gives us a chance to really connect.
Pembroke Day to me is a day about celebration and small businesses coming together to celebrate the culture of our town and to gather and to celebrate one another.
I like it. And I think my favorite thing about Pembroke Day is the fact that, we get to see so many members of the community and the school join together.
Pembroke Day marks the return of fall, but you know what else marks the return of fall? All things pumpkin spice. It's everywhere, from food to scented candles and soap. When is pumpkin spice too much? We asked around.
When is pumpkin spice a little too much? I feel like it is too much when you put it in like fried chicken or macaroni and cheese, or just putting it with stuff that really is not a good combination.
I personally think pumpkin spice is too much when you start using it for certain foods. Let's keep it in the candle area, the smell good area, but in the air freshener area. But when we start doing the foods and all that, I don't think we should personally use pumpkin spice for that.
When is pumpkin spice too much? Probably on chicken, pizza, like a casserole probably.
I'll just say it's too much, like when you start like putting in foods like, mac and cheese, turkey, fried chicken. I did put in foods that ain't got no business being in, or just putting in places that ain't got no business being in. Like, you know, I also say keep it in, like, you know, freshen up your house, man. Maybe probably put in your little Starbucks drink. Maybe make some pumpkin pies, you know, as a dessert. Like, just keep it at, like, keep pumpkins where they need to stay at. Don't be putting pumpkins business and other food or other areas business where they don't got no business being at.
For the second in our series of 20 Under 20, I interviewed UNCP sophomore Aspen Anderson and found out she's got a lot going on.
My name is Aspen Anderson. I am a sophomore here at UNCP, and I am a political science major with a pre-law concentration, and I also am minoring in Spanish.
While only being a sophomore, Aspen has involved herself in many organizations on campus.
I am the vice president in the Lambda Sigma Honor Society. I also serve as a secretary in both the American Association of University Women and the Honors College Student Council. In SGA, I am the Student Affairs Chair, and in NAACP, I'm the Political Action Chair. I also work as a Chancellor's Ambassador, and I'm a general member in the Pembroke Pre-Law Society, and I'm a resident advisor and a teacher's assistant.
Not only is Aspen able to hold executive board positions in various organizations on campus, she is also able to hold a 4.0 GPA, placing her on the chancellor's list.
To manage my time, I make sure that I take all of my assignments from my class syllabi and I enter them into one large Microsoft Excel sheet, and I then sort them by the due date. I also make sure that my planner is really detailed and I know when all of my organizations are meeting and my assignments are due.
Aspen and I met through the residential advisor position at UNCP. She is a very outgoing individual. She's always had great energy, and she really does care about the overall progression of the university. Overall, Aspen Anderson is probably one of the greatest coworkers I've had. Like I said, she always has this energy about her that is very positive, and it always brought our team together.
I should point out that Aspen just celebrated her 20th birthday last Friday.
Coming up, Netflix starts a scholarship in memory of Chadwick Boseman.
And a pro sports team in North Carolina fires its head coach.
We'll be back after these messages.
As a clinician, I recognize the importance of making your own individual choice regarding your COVID vaccine, but please make an educated decision. We want you to have the best chance to survive this virus. Please discuss this with your medical providers, get the facts, and make the best decision for yourself, for your family, and for our community.
So I understand that there may be some hesitancy in wanting to go get the vaccination. Of course, just with anybody, I was nervous, kind of just what if and all the questions answered, but I did do my research. So I received my first vaccination on April 9th, 2021, and my second vaccination on April 23rd, 2021. I decided I wanted to go ahead and get that vaccination so that I can be safe and be around my family, see friends, and just to be able to do it in a safe way. I would encourage you to do your research, talk to a physician, go to the CDC website, and once that's done, get your vaccination. This is our best defense against COVID-19.
Netflix and Howard University are teaming up to offer an annual scholarship in honor of the late actor Chadwick Boseman. A Netflix donation of $5.4 million will establish an endowment that will continue to grow so they can award a 4-year scholarship to an incoming freshman annually in the Chadwick Boseman College of Fine Arts. Howard University officials say the fund embodies the Black Panther actor's passion for storytelling and his willingness to support future generations. This year, the scholarship will be awarded to one student at each rank, from freshman to senior, and then to one incoming freshman each year after that.
A driver accused of killing 3 young parking attendants is in the hospital recovering from the crash that resulted in their deaths. He'll face charges when he recovers, but that's little consolation to the victims' families who can't believe what happened. Here's their story from KTRK in Houston.
I thought I would go one day, and look, I have to bury my son. I don't know. My heart hurts.
A mother heartbroken and in disbelief.
I know he loved what he was doing, but it took him away.
Rose Orduna says she knew something was wrong when her youngest son, Eric, didn't return home from work Friday night.
And I saw the place. And I knew that was my baby. That was my baby there. I knew it was him.
Eric Orduna, his friend, 18-year-old Fanan Mayashel, and another co-worker who Prospect Park identified as Nick Rodriguez, were walking back and forth, parking vehicles on Fairdale Lane near the sports bar where they worked. Police say a driver was doing donuts in a parking lot when officers tried to stop the driver. They took off, leading police on a chase. Police say the driver lost control, hit and killed the 3 valet workers. The driver and his passenger were injured but survived. Investigators say the driver could be facing a felony murder charge, and alcohol may have played a role.
This all could have been prevented. Nobody protected Eric, and I'm very upset with that. We don't deserve this. Eric didn't deserve this at all.
3 families dealing with unimaginable pain and loss. Orduna's family says they want to see change to prevent another tragedy like this from happening again.
My son and his poor other families are mourning just like us because of them. That police chase shouldn't have happened. It shouldn't have been like that.
We suffer loss and tragedy at the hands of others, and it's just, my message is just to love on your family and just be there for each other, and life is just really short, and I'm gonna mourn the loss of my baby brother for the rest of my life.
Roxy Bustamante, ABC 13 Eyewitness News.
An offshore oil pipeline leak has forced miles of California beaches to close. About 6 miles of coastline have been affected. Sticky black tar is what beachgoers encounter over the weekend, and experts are worried about the environmental impact.
Well, it's very disfortunate.
Residents we spoke with say they feel helpless knowing a massive oil slick of nearly 13 square miles is polluting the waters off Orange County. The source, a broken pipeline connected to an oil platform, leaked almost 130,000 gallons of oil just 4 miles off the Newport Beach coast.
It's heartbreaking. It really is heartbreaking. Why do we have to have these things out in the ocean? So close to the shore.
As darkened waves and black globs of tar have been coming in with the tide, health experts have been warning exposure to the toxic chemicals in petroleum can cause headaches, vomiting, and shortness of breath. Newport Beach has closed the ocean to swimming and surfing from Tower 44 to Crystal Cove, though that didn't stop some from getting in. Likewise in Huntington Beach, stunning some neighbors like Todd Clark.
You could already see the oil on the water. So I was kind of surprised.
The offshore rig, called the Ellie, is operated by Beta Offshore, an affiliate of Amplify Energy, one of the largest oil producers in Southern California. Since the leak was revealed Saturday, Amplify crews working with state and local teams have been moving into place, spreading booms to contain the slick and using pressurized equipment to collect what they can. Environmental experts say the cleanup could take months.
We are fully committed to being out here until this incident is fully concluded. We are working collaboratively with the Coast Guard, the California Department of Fish and Wildlife, numerous state agencies, and the local communities to help with all of the recovery efforts.
The international governing body of soccer, FIFA, is launching an investigation into the firing of North Carolina soccer team's head coach. Paul Riley of the North Carolina Courage was fired Thursday after renewed allegations about inappropriate comments and sexual misconduct. The complaints span more than a decade from around the league. WRAL's Chris Lovingood talked to the league's commissioner.
I was shocked and disgusted to read the new allegations reported in The Athletic this morning.
NWSL Commissioner Lisa Baird read her prepared statement to me on the phone. She says the league is sending the reports of sexual harassment allegations against Riley to the U.S. Center for Safe Sport for investigation. Those allegations were revealed in an investigative report this morning. Former players detailed accounts of sexual misconduct and inappropriate comments about players' weight and sexual orientation.
The league has in place a comprehensive anti-harassment, anti-discrimination policy.
After Riley was fired from the North Carolina Courage today, I asked him to talk to WRAL about this story from his perspective. He said he needed to talk to his legal team first, but he wanted to, quote, share my side. It needs to be heard. Right now, I have no voice. I took that reply to Lisa Baird.
That's exactly what he said, was just he feels that he has no voice. I didn't know if you had a specific response to that.
I don't. I just heard it from you now, so.
Riley was fired from the Portland Thorns soccer team back in 2015, stemming from a player's complaint. Today, the Thorns said their investigation found clear violations of company policy, and the findings of that investigation were fully shared with the NWSL League office. I tried to ask Lisa Baird about that too, but I was cut off.
I was reading one other thing about the Portland Thorns.
I'm sorry. That's all I have time. I just want to stand behind my original statement.
Commissioner Baird ended up resigning over the weekend, and all National Women's League matches for the weekend were canceled. The Players Union is demanding that systemic abuse plaguing the league not be ignored.
On a brighter note in women's sports, the Braves swimming team takes second place out of 12 teams at the King Invitational.
And the volleyball team overcomes a minor setback with the win in South Carolina.
Braves soccer moves to first place in Conference Carolinas. CNT's Andrew Thrift tells us all about it up next.
Freedom. It's at the core of who we are. The freedom to live without fear, to jog where we please, to wear a hoodie. The freedom to breathe. Before we celebrate the freedom most Americans have, we must fight for the freedom all Americans deserve. Because all lives can't matter until Black lives matter.
There's so many rewards in life. You coming into our home was one of the greatest rewards we could have ever had.
You know, it took 20 years, and I got my third child, who was 17 at the time.
It's so cool to watch the adult that you've become, and you really have done as much for us as you think we've done for you.
How prepared is your family if a tornado shows up at your doorstep, or a flood, or a hurricane? You can't just turn away a natural disaster. That's why it's important to go to ready.gov/plan now. It has the tools and tips you need to make an emergency plan with your family. So if disaster comes knocking,
let's go.
You'll be ready to help keep your family safe.
It's just a pizza.
Yes. Make a plan today.
Hey world, I have a quick message. It's about safe driving. All right, let's go. Anytime you're driving, have the seatbelt buckled tight. Both hands on the wheel and your phone out of sight. When not in your hand trying to text somebody back. Because if you do, your car might get smacked. The moral of the story, just put your phone down. The people on the road will stay safe and sound. Put your phone down, put your phone down. People on the road will stay safe and sound. Yeah.
Welcome back, Brave Nation. I'm Andrew Thrift. The Braves had suffered another loss on the gridiron, this time coming at the paws of the Frostburg State University Bobcats in Maryland. The Bobcats came in the matchup undefeated, with UNCP looking for the upset. The Braves started out well. They even tied with the Bobcats in the second quarter, 14 apiece. However, Frostburg would eventually exploit the weakness of the Braves' defense. They were able to put up 37 unanswered points, winning this lopsided battle 51-21. This brings the Braves to 2-3 overall in the season and searching for answers on both sides of the ball. In high school football, the 12 straight meetings, the Eagles of East Bladen had not lost to Fairmont. However, the Golden Tornadoes got vengeance Friday, pulling out a big win, 20-8. Fairmont had dropped 9 straight games going back to last season. Before Friday night's contest, which only made victory that much sweeter. The game was riddled with turnovers, with East Bladen accounting for 3 fumbles and 2 thrown picks, which led to a messy game overall. East Bladen also only had 13 passing yards throughout the evening on 14 passing attempts, with Fairmont defense stifling the Eagles' offense all night. Everything was meant to be for a Golden Tornadoes W. Braves soccer won big on Saturday night at Converse University in Spartanburg. A dominating offense was inspired by 3 goals in the first half, the third one coming on a penalty kick from Ashley Harris. Harris picked up another goal in the second half. Cassie Jasrani also picked up a twofer in the second half, and Abigail Lowry scored her first collegiate goal in the 90th minute. Final score, 7-0. The Braves are home against Chowan on Wednesday. The swimming team had 20 top 5 finishes in 2 days of the King Invitational over the weekend in Kingsport, Tennessee. Among the standouts for the Braves, Jillian Manning won 2 freestyle events and the 200-yard butterfly. Marielle Mencia Martinez also picked up wins in 2 freestyle events and was runner-up in the 100-yard butterfly. The team has a tri-meet on Friday at Mars Hill. An incredible 8-game winning streak came to a halt for Braves volleyball Friday when they went down on the road against Emmanuel College, 3-1. However, the Braves knew they had to turn things around quickly and brought home a win by defeating Erskine College the very next day, 3-1. In that match, Shannon Scrid was able to notch her 8th double-double in the season and was named Conference Carolina's Player of the Week. UNCP looks to continue their hot start of the season with a home matchup Friday against Belmont Abbey. It's a new outlook for Braves volleyball this season and a new coach. CNT reporter Michelle Yitz met Carly Whaling and gives us this introduction.
Carly Welling is an experienced volleyball coach and one of several new additions to UNCP's athletics department. Carly was named the 11th head coach for the school's volleyball team in May of 2021. So far this season, she has led the team to a 13-6 overall record and a 6-1 conference record.
So the girls came up with they want to win conference, and I totally back that. I think that's something that's totally achievable for us. So we're working really hard and we're on the right track now. It's just a matter of coming into November and playing our best ball.
Carly has coached at several other schools before coming to UNCP, but she couldn't be happier with her new team and their determination to grow as a program.
Things we're working on right now is just our communication and energy level. We've got great talent, but looking to bring in more talent next year. We've already got a couple girls signed that we're super excited about, but there's a really solid group in there that works hard, and I really just couldn't ask for more from them.
Despite being new to the program, Carly has already earned the respect of her players with her high-energy coaching style.
This team, we're all very close, and I think that's why it's so special to have her as a coach, is because she's open to talk. I mean, if there's anything we have to work on, she's the first person to say, hey, you need to do this. And honestly, gives really good feedback every day in practice, pushes us, and I mean, if we ever needed something, and she's basically like a mom away from home.
Despite being the mother of young twins, Carly always manages to give 110% of her attention to her team and the rise of the program as a whole.
Thanks to CNT reporter Michelle Yitz for that report. That's it for me. I'm Andrew Thrift.
And I'm Jayla Coley. On behalf of Michaela Trace and all the crew here in the TV studio, thanks for watching Carolina News Today.
We'll see you next week.